Look at this. This is one of 2 elevators. Here is a world-class movie theater room. I wanted you to get a sense of what a true world-class music room looks like. If you knock on these, I can hear it. All right, guys, you're always wondering why I never get a chance to show you finished homes. Well, it's always difficult to get back in the house once the homeowner has moved in, but luckily I have a special treat for you. This is a 2-year remodel that is finally completed, and you will be amazed. Let me get you inside and give you the full tour. All right, what we started with is we tore out the whole front entry door and put a whole new one in. This is all mahogany, and it's 42 inches wide. Most doors are only 3 foot wide, and look how thick this is. We got a steel strip all the way up and down, so when you shut this door and lift up on it and lock it, it's like a vault. Then we came in and removed some walls over here and redid. The staircase was always curved, but we put all new railings in. This is all custom design rails, and the curve going down, we added wood treads. Everything kind of matches, and then that gives us a beautiful wall, which the artwork will soon be hung. We're almost done, but the house is done, but the decorating part seems to go on for quite some time. So I built this house for a gentleman that was in a wheelchair about 15, 16 years ago. The new buyers that came in had decided they wanted me to do some little bit of like some painting, maybe a couple cabinets, and then it turned into a full-blown remodel. So here we are. We tore out the fireplace. We have a whole brand new fireplace that's been installed. And the addition, that was a window. That's where we go back, and we'll show you that for the end. That's pretty special. That's where the movie theater room is, and the total sound room, which is world class. And we also put a second elevator. But this became the feature wall. This was where the TV was back in the day when we built this house. TVs were about this deep. So we took the whole wall out, and we're actually able to make this room even bigger by getting rid of the supersized TV. So when you come in the front door, you want to get a sense, the size of the space, and the wow effect we went for is not only how beautiful and all the attention to details, ceilings, but the fireplace. But as you come down hallways, I'm passing by this door, I'll come back to that in a second, but you don't want to walk into a house and see into a bedroom or a bathroom. So we created a feature wall at the end of the hallway. You go here to the master and this way to the second master. That's right, 2 master bedrooms. But look at this. This is one of 2 elevators. You hit the button. It's got the 8-foot tall door. This was a lift before. A lift was something about this tall that you would put in a wheelchair and go up and down, so you'd see the walls going by you. That's nice, but it's very not as safe as actually having an entire cab. This elevator just makes one stop. When it goes downstairs, it has you go out that side. So some elevators, you get in and out on the same door. This one has an exit at that end downstairs, and I'll show you. That drops you off at the wine room. With elevators in homes, it's important for the person that is in the wheelchair that they feel like they're a part of the home. So when people go downstairs, they really arrive pretty close to the same location, so they don't feel like they have to go at the other end of the house to come back. That's why this house has 2 elevators. So as beautiful as this is, when you come out of the elevator, you arrive at what I think is fantastic, is this absolutely beautiful wine room. This is all refrigerated to keep the temperature around 55 degrees. Also, it's important to have the higher humidity. And so let me bring you in. I wish you could feel how cool it is. Good thing I got my sweatshirt on. But coming inside, here's the thermostat that shows the temperature. It's 55 degrees. That's perfect for the wine that they're storing in here. And then there is even a humidistat. Right now the humidity is 62%. The homeowner has labeled every single bottle, and he has it registered on his iPad, so they keep track. It's a hobby for them, and it's just fun to track it. They can come down and figure out what wine bottle it is. So if I move one of these around here, I'll mess things up. So I'm gonna leave that alone. It looks like he's got this pretty full. I should have made this twice the size. Another thing I'm big on is the basements. We don't use the word basement. We call them lower levels. So when you come down a staircase, you're coming to another level of the home. And so when you're downstairs, you have another entry that gives you a sense of arrival again to a whole new experience. So right off the entryway is an office, which is really good design. So when you have guests come over, they don't have to go very far from the front door. So into this office was what we originally had in the home. And what we kept in the original plan is this ceiling. It was a stained wood ceiling. There was a lot of cherry wood in here, cherry wood floors. Those have all been removed. Excuse me. And then we built all this cabinetry here to create a nice backdrop when you come into the room. And then the desk, which is nice, sits right here, and you have a view right out to the front yard. The challenge we had is in the ceiling, being it was all wood, and a lot of times wood that's stained, you don't see the joints in it because of the darker stain. We had to come in and prep all this wood with caulking and filler, so when you paint this ceiling, it looks nice and smooth. If there was ever a joint or where it had separated, it would look like the paint had cracked. So there was a lot involved in this process. So if you're painting wood that's been stained, you got to go through several little steps to make sure the end result turns out as beautiful as this. All right, just up from the lower level, I got to make sure this door closes, because if someone's downstairs, the elevator won't go down unless everything's closed. So we're on the main floor again, making the turn to the master suite. I don't know if you remember, we had Tom come in, we tore this whole ceiling out and we vaulted it up with the skylight. That skylight has a remote that closes so that it's room darkening. So the original home had a fireplace over in the corner. We removed that, squared up the room, and because we added the addition on the back where the music room is, we were able to create an outdoor private patio, and that way the homeowner can sit out here. It's totally private, away from the neighbors, and then that wall right there is where the movie theater room is. So that separation is what gives a lot of privacy to this master bedroom. The homeowner, he likes to play the music and his theater late into the night, and when the wife's sleeping, she's got total silence. So here, totally revamped this entire bathroom. There was a wheelchair roll-up into the shower. It was on an angle. We tore all that out, put in this beautiful tiled shower. There is no door because the shower is so large that you literally can be clear back into here and the water does not splash out. So we have an overhead ceiling spray. We have the handhelds, one on the wall, 3 shower heads. And what's nice is these benches work great that you can sit down on. It's also where you can store stuff. We've got niches. This turned out nice, and it was real important to the homeowner if they wanted this soaking tub. These are become more and more popular where they're like a piece of furniture. We used to build them all in like the old days, the old house. What's nice, there's a nice backdrop. We've obscured the glass because there is a neighbor that way. So we just want light coming in, but privacy is more important. I want to point out a subtle little touch that goes a long way. You may not even notice it right now, but check this out. This is all tile that's from the shower, returns to the outside. We just did this wall. What that does, that little bit of tile really takes the finish up a notch. It just adds that extra touch of elegance. So something to consider. You don't have to do all the walls, but just one feature wall. And we also did it right here up against the tub because that's going to get splashed. Having drywall on there is not a good thing. So just a little bit more tile makes this look absolutely beautiful. So something to consider when you're remodeling your bathroom. One little feature that you don't pick up on camera is all these floors in this bathroom are heated. We put a sun-touch floor down, and that way you set the temperature, you pretty much leave it on year-round so it stays nice and comfortable on your feet. And then this transitions into his and her closet. This is his closet and her closet, which is quite large. So this bathroom allows you to come in, you can get up in the middle of the night or in the morning, close that door, do your business, get ready, come through this closet, and then you can exit. I call that the doctor exit because these doctors that get phone calls in the middle of the night can get up, get ready, and not ever go back to the bedroom again. You transition right through here. They have a touch-up dryer, Miele. This is just a dryer that gets the wrinkles out, steams clothes, kind of freshens them up. The laundry room for the entire house is downstairs, and that's supersized. So this is her closet, and then you transition right back around to the main floor. And then out the door you go to work. Never have to interrupt anybody that's still sleeping in the master. So the original home, this was just a little entry area where you came down on the elevator. And so we added the wine room, But before that, there was a wall right here that separated the space, which was a kitchenette. They had like a stove and a refrigerator, so we opened all that up to make the bar be a part of the wine cellar room. And here's one little interesting thing. We had so much ductwork running through here that the ceiling could not be raised, but we found an opportunity right in here just to pop this up about 1.5 feet, which gave us a chance to showcase like a treatment for liquor and alcohol and stuff behind this mesh cabinet front. So that became kind of a nice little detail that was offset from the bar that gives kind of some little ambiance just by vaulting up that ceiling that little bit. That's all the opportunity we had. So when we opened all this up to make this all feel like one big open room, here there was no windows because we were downstairs. That was all dirt. This was not a walkout basement. A walkout basement means you can literally be in the lower level and walk outside. So this was all grade up to the top of that. So we had to dig all this out. And then we created this corridor that took us to the new addition. As we make our way down, it has a slight ramp to it because this is all wheelchair accessible. Here is the second elevator. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of this world-class music room. It's taken me over 2 years to build. I have a full reveal on this room, but you've got to see what the video is going to be about. So come on in real quick. I wanted you to get a sense of what a true world-class music room looks like. I wish you could hear what it sounds like. Hopefully we'll have a little taste of that on the next video. But these are some of the finest speakers that money can buy. These are the amplifiers, and those are subwoofers back there. I'd like for you guys to leave a comment on what you think a pair of these speakers and the turntable cost. I'll give you a hint. It's way more than a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. All right, guys, so coming up from the lower level, this is the main floor and where the movie theater is. Again, we continued on with the solid core, 8-foot tall mahogany doors. Here is a world-class movie theater room. I wish you could get a sense of how the sound just became so dense in here. The room is so pure and quiet. Here is the projector. We're still setting up the room at this time, but these are another high-end pair of speakers. It's amazing. If you knock on these, I don't know if you can hear it. It's like it's made out of stone. I forget, I bet these weigh 400 or 500 pounds a piece. We've come through and again, we did the skyline on the ceiling. It's all been painted extra dark. So this room, when you dim the lights down, you truly feel like you're in the best movie theater possible. The projector is a laser. So the quality of the picture is so crisp, it's unbelievable. And the sound, we have speakers in the ceilings up here. This wall behind all this these all have specific angles that the architect designed to just reflect sound. And there's a lot of that going on. So nothing is at a true 45 or 90 degree angle. They're little offsets. Even this is at a different angle, and it's all been backlit to accent all the accessories to make the room have some really nice character. We repeated these same lights from the music room downstairs. Everything can be dimmed. And again, we have the same heating and cooling system in this room because once again, we don't want to have any extra noise from the vents creating any air from air conditioning or heat. And this room is all carpeted, where downstairs, that is all a wood floor. So this room has a whole different feel and it's a whole different design because of a different types of sound. They're wanting to get the sound to bounce off all the different angles, which is what I'm learning. So at some point, maybe I'll be able to talk a little bit more detail when the homeowner comes back, but I wanted you to see this room and how beautiful it turned out. It's got some great accent lighting. I have heard it for the first time. It will ruin you. You will never go to a movie theater again or watch TV at home if you can become friends with this guy, because the sound is fantastic and the screen is so crystal clear. Even though you see the speakers here in the front, the center channel and some of these, but then there's some stuff in the ceiling, but what drives all that is not in this room. It's behind that wall. Let me show you how we get there. So as you come out of the theater room, you make your way into the homeowner's office, which is on the back of the house. We created this beautiful bookcase backdrop. And what's nice about this is back behind this hidden bookcase is where he keeps all the razzle-dazzle stuff. This is how you make your way in from the office into his media room, equipment room, I should call it. And what I find so fascinating is how beautiful. I would like to have this thing front and center. That is the most beautiful looking stair equipment I've ever seen. And so what we're looking at here, this represents the right side, right channel, and this is the left channel. And then there's additional equipment that continues to be added to it. I'm not even quite sure. We're going to need Doug to help us out, the homeowner, because you can see all the raceways and cabling that comes in so he can continue to add and improve on the sound. So this is always a work in progress. As you can see, he's got plenty of pieces and parts well labeled, which is his hobby. He likes working on this stuff, and I think he makes some of these amps, but he definitely knows what he's doing. So every kitchen should have a pantry. This one's all really well lit in the back, but then we took a step further and came in here with Pam. They're good. And we made this the ultimate butler's pantry. We put a kitchen sink in. This house had a couple cabinets, had the refrigerator, but then we took all that out and redid it with under-counter lighting, granite tops, another secondary kitchen sink, plenty of storage. So this is where they make their coffee in the morning. So it's out of the way. So the kitchen, being all open to the main floor, stays nice and looks nice and clean, where you come back here, make your toast and your coffee, and then make your way back into the living room.